Remember this guy? This is so small, it's invisible, but somehow it still found a way to shut down the world economy. Here's the thing, you don't need to be big to be powerful. You just need to be infectious. Remember this guy?
As the head of TED for more than 20 years, Chris Anderson has seen how quickly ideas can spread. He has helped some of the world's top thinkers share their life-changing concepts. And now he's looking at how to shape generosity into a force.
His new book looks at how we can use small acts of thoughtfulness to change the world. It's called Infectious Generosity, the ultimate idea worth spreading. And Chris joins us this morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
It's funny, you use the word infectious, and I immediately think of social media and the algorithms, which don't always spread niceties, often spread terrible things. What part does this play in all this?
Well, that's the problem that we have to fight. Like, in theory, the internet is supposed to be this incredible invention that can bring people together, but it's turned out badly so far because nastiness goes viral. People, the people who portray threats are the people who are getting the loudest voices. And I guess the argument of the book is we don't have to settle for that. If we can figure out how to make kindness go viral, it really will make a huge difference. And I think everyone actually has a part to play in doing that.
And you have some examples of things that went viral that started as small acts of kindness. Talk about this 200 people given a certain amount of money and what they did with it.
Right. So I got a ringside seat on this amazing social experiment where 200 people on the internet got $10,000, no strings attached. And what they spent it on was really surprising. They spent more than 2/3 of the money generously. Friends, families, strangers, causes. Like that was a huge proportion, really surprised social scientists. And what it says is that we have wired within us, not just generosity, but a strong desire to respond to generosity. So that's what gives me so much hope, because on this connected age that we're in, it's so easy to share things online. People respond to it when that happens. And so you can create these ripple effects that can really counter the meanness that is out there that we're all sick of.
But let me ask you about that, because it doesn't seem like it's this free marketplace we all think it is. The social media companies are cooking the books with their algorithms to amplify, as you say, the meanness, because that's how they make money from that viral. So how do you combat that?
Well, I know a lot of the people in those companies, and there is a debate raging in all of them. I don't think that they're out and out evil. I think most of what's gone wrong was unintended, and it's because of a naive view of human nature. The algorithms have given power to our lizard brains, for want of a better word, and it's in danger of turning us all into lizards. But there are plenty of people in those companies who would like them to be contributing to the public good. I've become persuaded by that. And so there's a role that they can play, and there's a role that we can play. And it's really all about just giving more power to our more reflective selves over our instinctive selves and changing what we do online. So, for example, there's a really important act of generosity that anyone can engage in, which is just to try and bridge a bit, to listen to people who are on the other side with a little bit of respect. And instead of just slamming them with cynicism and anger, just trying to find what did you actually mean by that? And here's why I disagree. And to have respectful conversations instead of just angry, short, mean conversations. There's hope in that, and everyone can play a part.
Yeah, I was going to say, generosity is great. There's a lot of people that are hurting and don't have money to give. Aside from, doing little things like commenting nicer, there's got to be more to it to spread generosity. So to the average person, how can they be generous?
Well, 100%. Some of the things that have spread most online have just been people capturing on video just ordinary acts of human kindness. Anything you do today may, whether you like it or not, end up being seen by a large number of people. So, ultimately, humans are capable. Everyone is capable. Everyone at some level wants to be kind to the people around them. And I think in this connected era, because we're facing all these stories of meanness, I think there's just extra reason to look out for those moments, look out for those stories, and play your part in helping share them. I think we're shaped by the stories we tell, and the stories we're telling about each other right now are quite dangerous, I think.
Well, Chris's book is called Infectious Generosity, The Ultimate Idea Worth Spreading. For more, check out his website, follow him on the socials. Chris, thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you.